Okay, so between the metal studs inside the truck, I need something to attach my normal wood stud framing to. So these little guys, all the studs, like the space between the studs and the truck, are different sizes. So some of them are 10.5, this one's 9.5, 6. And so today we're cutting them up, and most of them are usually, like the studs are 16 inches apart, like normal studs. So it comes out to about 14.5 between them. And then I'll screw these into the top right underneath the metal header in there, so that I can probably toenail my normal 4-inch wood studs for the wall into these, instead of attaching it right to the metal. So yeah, that's the plan. I got, I think, 8 more of these. But it's going good. I haven't made a video in a while, and I've gotten a lot done since the last one. So the last video I talked about how to take down the wood panels, and I talked a bit about the weird metal lip. So I want to show you a little bit what I did. So I have a blog where I showed exactly how I did this step and everything, if you want to know, but otherwise I just filled in the trowel with concrete, leveled it all off, put some wood studs all over the floor, and as you can see, I've waterproofed all of the metal. So from the floor all the way up to like the headers, every seam for every stud I painted with a rubber sealant against the sheet metal, because if you, oh here, if you remember, see along all these lines, let's see if I can, oh here. So I painted a rubber sealant. I'll attach photos of it or something of the brand I used, just to make sure that's totally airtight. And I actually used some spray and foam. There we are. Along the corner edges. I'm probably gonna have to trim that down so I can put my wood stud there, but otherwise then I started waterproofing it. This is a waterproof barrier used for roofing, and so usually it's designed so that the print side is facing outside, because that's where the water comes in, right? So in a box truck, the print needs to be opposite. It needs to be against the metal, the print side. So that way the moisture, the condensation, the moisture from in here and from outside, like the temperature difference will create condensation, and it'll collect, it'll go through this side and then get stuck on the metal, and it can't come back out. So in the directions, here, let me show you what I used. I used the cheaper brand of waterproofing. It works great though. I came here when it was pouring rain and the waterproofing wasn't entirely done yet. And I actually found drops of water, like just condensation, you know, like really small ones, and was touching the waterproof barrier and it didn't come through, and it worked perfectly. So so this brand's really good, and it's considerably cheaper. It's like, I believe it's $23 a roll, and other ones are $60. So yeah, covers quite a bit. I think this is my 3rd roll I've bought. I actually have another one over there. That's the one I'm using. So I used one full one already, and that's my 2nd one. And I did all this. So I think you, depends on the size, you know, that you're doing, but it doesn't hurt to get extra. I'm gonna be cutting out the ceiling and raising the roof, so I'm gonna have to use more, so I figured I'd buy it before summer comes along and all the construction people get in there. Unfortunately, there's no cheap version of this tape. Not that I saw. So here we are. It's about $14 a roll. You need some type of waterproof, like water sealing tape, and you have to cover every single edge. So I started from the bottom first, And then you do the next middle layer, and it has to cover it by at least like 3 to 6 inches. Depends on what barrier you use. It has instructions on it. So it'll tell you what you have to do specifically. And then just keep doing that. It doesn't look amazing, but it took a long time. But it's important, you know. And I made sure when I was wrapping the walls that I got as close as I could to the edge of the studs, because I want to put my studs right against these metal studs. So it has to fit really snug and perfect. You don't want it to be weird. So here's those studs chunk things that we cut before, and I want to show you what I'm going to do with them. So as you can see, I'm putting them at the top between the metal studs, so that way I can put my, here, hold on one sec. So I can put my normal wood studs that are going to go all the way down right up against them, and then just toenail it at the top through here into this, and that should hold the wall studs pretty tightly. Next, once I get back, once I get them all in, then I'm going to go to the outside of the truck, and I'm going to screw through the sheet metal on the outside into probably some of the studs, you know, and just really hold it in there. I was planning to toenail through these into the metal studs, but as you can see, there's not much space to do that, and I felt like that wouldn't really help it become structured enough, you know. Okay, so as you can see, I put a wood shim at the very top, and then I hammered in, you can see from the marks, the little square, and it holds it in really tightly. At least all that we're trying to do is just get these in here, so as soon as we hammer in these studs, that the studs can go really tightly straight in there, and then we'll toenail these 2x4s, the wall studs, into the bottom base plate here, and then into this, and then we'll go from the outside and then screw those in these and make sure it's all really tight and everything. So it just needs to be tight enough so that once it's all in place, then you can come in, toenail them, and then it's strong enough for you to actually screw into them from the outside. Otherwise they'll just move around and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So I got 35 2x4s. I think cost about 96 bucks, which that's enough studs to do all the walls. So the plan here, these are 8 feet long, and obviously, I mean, the truck's only 7 feet tall. I think next time I'll be setting up the generator I have so I can bring my chop saw. I don't want to hand saw all these, so it's time to do some power tools. Okay, so that's where we're at. Next time I'll show you a little more in depth about how I'm gonna put these up and cutting them, and you know, measure 3 times, cut once. So alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.